Dave, Kiku Ishivanish, Tamish Gomago Mago. Welcome to Conversation with the Druid number episode 9. On today's episode, we're going to talk about some things going on. I find it highly disconcerting that people are being remanded to a foreign country and a super prison without due process. It doesn't matter if one is a documented or undocumented immigrant or if one is a native born citizen of the United States, but without due process and a proper hearing to ascertain whether or not they are indeed criminals or what their legal status is. They should not be remanded anywhere other than to their country of origin. In the case of someone who is from El Salvador, who is decreed by the judge that they should not be sent back to El Salvador, they should be permitted to stay here regardless of ICE's attempts to deport them. And it's not deportation, that's usually returning to their home country. But anyways, so there's that. Unfortunately, due to transportation issues and conflicting appointments, I was unable to participate in the hands-off protests that were going on April 5th, but I do my best to support the movement. As should any druid worth their salt. Just because of the fact that we're living in a time where all must stand up for righteous anger against the tyranny of religious zealots. As the case may be. And so there's that. But on a positive note, it is Easter time for those who are practicing Christians, although Orthodox Easter is next week. For those of you who celebrate, whether because it's family custom or because you take your religion as a practicing Christian seriously, I wish you a very happy Easter. And would like to close with this meditation. Place your hand over your pelvic region. Close your eyes and breathe in. Hold for 3, then breathe out. Bring your hands up from the cauldron of warming to the cauldron of motion. I'll bring up to the core surface the cauldron of wisdom. With your eyes closed, see the trees overhead within the sacred grove. Feel the presence of people surrounding you, all the people viewing this within the sacred grove, a crackling fire in the midst of us, surrounded by oak and hazel, with a well, a spring nearby, and a stream issuing forth from the ground. In the presence of land, sea, and sky, we are joined. These are some weighty times that we are in. And to quote a famous Druid, and so do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we can do is make the most of the time that is given us. Gandalf the Grey. And so it is that we must strive to do the best we can with what our skills and talents are. And as you go forth from this grove, understand that we are all connected as members of this planet, both human and wild animals. Although you could argue that humans are wild animals too. But at any rate, that being said, we're all connected within this world, which is the only habitable world in which we live that can sustain life. And that the search for habitable planets outside of ours is a Quixote commission, and we'd be better suited towards our endeavors of harmonizing with nature, and instead of destroying and extracting as much as we can, providing an anti-capitalistic movement towards natural sustenance and living in harmony with nature, as opposed to destroying it. For we are not given dominion over anything. We are not guaranteed another day in this world. We live with the threat of potential demise at any given moment, whether through cancer or some other means. So it is important to live with love and a desire for peace and harmony. But when attacked, it is right and just to defend oneself. And our democratic norms are under assault. And it is our role and function as Druids to sustain our communities through these times, to guide them, and to help provide a source of direction for our communities, our tua. And so I leave you on this note. As your sense of your bodies return to yourself, place your hands on the ground and feel the sense of the earth. Give back to the earth what she has given you. Then stand up and clasp the hands of the people next to you. And then place your hands over your heart as you breathe. And as your senses return to yourself, aware of your own physicality, then and only then, when you're ready, open your eyes and return to the world to continue your work as a member of nature and as a member of humanity.